I honestly did not know what God's response to these prayers would be. He was certainly under no obligation to save you from this, Merle. And yet so many were praying so deeply for you that I thought perhaps, just perhaps, God would honor the prayers of these faithful ones and spare your life for a reason. That evening I spoke with C again, and she informed me that your condition had steadily deteriorated throughout the day, and by that evening when we spoke, your vitals were a bare minimum and you were literally on the edge of death. The medical staff did not expect you to survive that night. Despite this report, I continued to leave everything at the feet of God about this matter and continued to remain comforted in Him that if He wanted to save you from this, He could and He would if He wanted to. I shared with C about my having already put this on the prayer chain. The next morning when I woke up, I immediately called your sister Carolyn, and I received a grim but pretty stunning report. You were still alive. Your vitals, which had deteriorated all through the previous day, and even all evening until you were literally at the point of death, were still the same. But you were still alive, unconscious, unrecognizable, but alive. The medical staff was somewhat shocked that you had not yet passed away. Nevertheless, they conveyed to your family that despite this, there was still no hope for you and that you had no chance to survive. I took this news a little differently because I was awed at what God had done and gave Him my deep, heartfelt thanks for keeping you alive. I attempted to comfort Carolyn, reminding her of the prayers that were being offered up on your behalf and reminding her that if God desired, He could and would save you from this certain death for a reason. After our conversation, I went back on the computer to contact the prayer team again. I updated them on what had transpired with you and the stunning news that you were still alive. And I again asked that they continue to pray on your behalf, that if it be God's will, that He spare you from this condition you are in and give you one more chance. Well, Merle, day after day passed. Your vitals remained stable, but at the edge of death for many days, actually. And then you began to ever so slowly improve. Day after day after day was another stunning report. You were still unconscious, but you were alive. Your vitals had either not deteriorated or were ever so slowly improving. And the medical staff continued to insist through all of this that you had no chance to survive. Day after day, I would remind your sister of how great God is and that despite what the medical staff was saying, if He wanted to save you from this, He was more than capable of being able to do exactly that. And day after day, I would update the people praying for you of your status and give glory to God for bringing you through